Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Gorgeous Monday night for baseball. Hank Aaron, who played for the Milwaukee Braves and Atlanta Braves, has a statue outside this beautiful ballpark. The Atlanta Braves are in to face the Milwaukee Brewers, their only trip to Milwaukee this season. On the mound, it's going to be Mike Minor of the Braves. Take 2 full runs off that ERA. That's how he's pitched in his last 11 starts. And Willie Peralta making his first home start and only the second in his career. Hi, everybody. Jerry and Craig back with you here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Willie Peralta in his first major league start down to Miami on this past road trip. Pitched very well, picked up his first big league win.
I'll tell you, he did. He pitched very well. I'll tell you what you have to like about him. He had that great composure, went about his business like he had to, commanding the fastball, and he really used his off-speed very well. Had a good breaking ball and a good changeup. Now he's gone through that regular routine. It's going to be really interesting that how he comes out tonight after having his first strike being here in Milwaukee, if he can do the same thing.
Yeah, he had 2 inherited runners scored to boost that earned run up to 3 during his time on the mound, but he is anxious and ready to go here in Milwaukee. So it's Chipper Jones, the Braves version of Robin Yount, if you will, making his final Milwaukee appearance this week before retirement. The Ant Rocker set to take it the rest of the way.
Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible.
What a glorious day it is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin today. This is why we live here, a day like this, and we are set for Major League Baseball as Chipper Jones in his swan song in the major leagues this year makes his final appearance here in Milwaukee and at Miller Park. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. Brewers start a very important homestand here. They have 3 against the Braves and then 3 against the New York Mets. And there's a lot at stake, certainly, but I think tonight the headliner belongs to Chipper Jones. He begins his final series here in Milwaukee. He's playing in his career 80th game. He's a .335 career hitter against the Brewers. And what a career he's had.
Well, it's a kind of an end of an era. You know, Chipper Jones has been around the Atlanta Braves a long time, 20 years. He's seen postseason, divisional championships, one of the best switch hitters of all time. When you talk about switch hitters in the history of this game, you're talking about Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray. Those are the 2 names that you have to associate with Chipper Jones. Chipper, the only switch hitter for a career to have a .300 batting average, hit 300 or more home runs. He's got over 1,000 RBIs. Certainly a guy that baseball is going to miss, a great teammate, and certainly a guy that's been a very good ambassador to the game of baseball.
He's played his entire career with the Braves in his 19th season. The Brewers will have a pregame ceremony for Chipper Jones on Wednesday. Task at hand, Braun back in the lineup. The Brewers back home, hoping to stay hot against the Braves. Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Atlanta Braves. Game 1 of a 3-game series. And it starts a 6-game homestand over 7 days. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Mark Concannon, great to have you with us. Willie Peralta getting prepared for his first ever start at Miller Park as the Brewers take the field. Well, Freddie Gonzalez and the Atlanta Braves are currently in the top spot in the wild card race. Freddie Gonzalez has his club 21 games over 500. They are running up against a juggernaut in their division, the Washington Nationals, but sit comfortably in the wild card lead right now. The Piggly Wiggly batting order for Freddie Gonzalez. It's Michael Bourne, Martin Prado, and Jason Hayward. In the middle of the order, the switch hitter Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman, and Dan Uggla. Brian McCann does the catching. Andrelton Simmons, the rookie shortstop, just back in the big leagues, back from an injury, and Mike Minor on the mound. And there is Willie Peralta. And there was plenty to be pleased about with Peralta's last start. The wow factor was in place in his first big league start against the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, really did a nice job. I mean, limiting the Marlins to 3 runs in 6 innings. He went out for the 7th, but put a couple of guys on. They would eventually score. So 2 of those 3 runs were scored after he left the ball game. And he got his first big league win as a starting pitcher. Now, he got to the big leagues because his AAA number is very good. His last 15 starts, a 6-3 record.
Yeah, the big strikeout numbers as well over those last 15 starts. Here is the defense behind him. News that Ryan Braun is back. He left yesterday's game with a wrist injury. Got Gomez in center, Aoki in right. Ramirez, Bianchi, Weeks, and Ishikawa. Maldonado does the catching. He has known Willie Peralta since they were in Single A. He's been his catcher since they were in Single A. And I thought Maldonado did a fantastic job navigating Peralta through his last start.
Yeah, he knew when to really, light a fire under him somewhat. I mean, we saw him go out there a couple of times and pop him on the shoulder from time to time and say, let's get going. These guys know each other very well.
No Corey Hart in the starting lineup tonight. Hart is out with an ankle injury that they are now saying is more in the arch of his foot. As Peralta's first pitch is inside for ball one, and away we go. So there's Travis Ishikawa playing first base despite a left-handed starting pitcher on the mound for the Braves. Strike one for Peralta. Michael Bourne leads off for Atlanta. Braves are hot, coming off a sweep of the New York Mets on the road. Their division rivals. And Atlanta has won 5 in a row. They've won 7 of their last 8. Doesn't look like this team is going to have a September collapse like they did last year. That's still on the minds of the Braves and their fans. A 9-18 September last year and blew a 9.5 game lead. Missed the postseason. This is a very good ball club, and they have added to their roster. Picked up some key pieces along the way.
They've got very good pitching. They've got the best defense in the National League.
Tough hop for Ramirez. He makes the play and a good strong throw for out number 1. Michael Bourne retired. Couldn't ask for better weather. I mean, it is just perfect for anything, but especially a big league baseball game. It's 71 degrees. Very low humidity and very little winds. I noticed, Rock, they had the panels closed up in the outfield, which could affect how the ball travels, you would think.
Yeah, keep the wind out of here and make it the best conditions for the fans. But it is very nice here tonight. A sense of fall in the air here at Miller Park.
Here's Martin Prado as Peralta deals strike one. Prado getting the start in left field. That's where he has played the most, although he played a little bit at second base last week. Very versatile player and a former All-Star. He's hitting .296 this year. Has 9 homers, 64 driven in. Yeah, Peralta just pouring in the strikes and a lot of big fastballs early. His cruising speed is 94 to 96.
And it's not straight either. It's got good movement on it. It's got some good tail. A lot of life to that pitch. There's a slider. And he showed a very good changeup against the Marlins in his first start.
Just 23 years of age, Willie Peralta. Rated as the #1 prospect in the Brewers minor league system right now. And among the best in all of minor league baseball this season. Bouncing ball to Weeks. He'll take care of Prado. 2 up, 2 down for Willie Peralta. Adrian Johnson calling the balls and strikes tonight. He'll bark it out loud for you. Gary Cederstrom, Lance Barksdale, and Jordan Baker. Base umpires. Jordan Baker up from the minor leagues, getting a chance to umpire a big league game. So 2 men are out, and here is Jason Hayward. Hayward's having a terrific season. His home runs are way up. His strikeouts are up also, but he's hitting with big power. 25 home runs, has 70 driven in.
And that's a lot of home runs in Atlanta. That's not a very good home run ballpark. They say that Hayward this year, the Brewers haven't seen the Atlanta Braves since mid-April, one of the first series of the year, so a lot has changed for both clubs. But Hayward hitting the ball all over the field. He was a dead pull hitter his first couple seasons.
He's always been a deadly low ball hitter. That's his hot spot. Peralta will try to stay out of there. And it's 2 balls and a strike. It'll make it 3-1 on Hayward. Brewers start today 6 games out of the second wild card spot as Hayward muscles one into left field, a base hit. Sawed him off, but Hayward's strong enough to dump it into left field in front of Braun for a base hit.
And that's what we're talking about. I mean, a guy that likes to pull the baseball with 2 strikes, able to muscle it out there. Actually a 3-1 count.
It's been that kind of season for Chipper Jones wherever he goes. When it is his final series in a venue, he gets this kind of ovation, and it'll be his last here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Hayward takes off. Maldonado's thrown right on the bag. Caught stealing as Hayward is gunned down. Maldonado, a great arm. And the inning ends with Chipper Jones at the plate. Won 15 of their last 20 ball games. They still have a puncher's chance to make it into the postseason. It's going to be have to be a miraculous finish for Milwaukee. Here's the batting order today for Renicky. It's Nori Aoki, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun at the top. Aramis Ramirez, Ricky Weeks, and Martin Maldonado in the middle of the order. And then Renicky has Ishikawa, Bianchi, and Peralta rounding it out against left-hander Mike Minor. And you can throw out the numbers for Minor this year. He's 8-10. His ERA is over 4.5, but it's what he has done lately that has the Braves very impressed.
Yeah, he had a dreadful month of May where he had a 10 earned run average, but his last 11 starts have been very good. A 2.58 ERA. You see the 25 home runs, but he's only allowed 3 homers in his last 7 starts.
Mike Minor, very young pitcher that the Braves are hoping to have in their rotation next year. He's only 24 and a fly ball pitcher, which doesn't necessarily play well here in Milwaukee like it does in Atlanta. Nori Aoki leads off. Ron Renicky forced to put a couple of left-handers in the batting order today. Aoki would have been there anyway, but with Corey Hart's injury, and we'll get more on that from Mark Concannon a little later, he's forced to use Travis Ishikawa in the ball game tonight as a starter against the left-hander Minor.
Well, the thinking there is if you've got Corey Hart out of the lineup, you want to keep your defense solid, and Ishikawa is the best of the available guys on the bench at first base defensively anyway.
Aoki bounces one foul.
Well, that is a big bat to be without in a very important series for the Brewers. Ron Renicky having to shuffle his lineup, move guys around, and one of his best run producers is out for maybe a few days.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Aoki as he fights one off foul. What a moment Aoki delivered yesterday in St. Louis. A 2-out, 2-strike, 9th inning home run. And it was a 2-run home run that tied the game at 4 extra innings. The Brewers would drop the final game in St. Louis in 10. As Aoki pulls one foul, that one's headed to the seats. Now, the last guy you'd expect to hit one out on Jason Mott throwing 98 miles an hour was Aoki, but how about that? He did it, and it was a bullet out of there.
Yeah, big fastball, as you mentioned, and in on him, and Aoki able to pull the hands in and in tough conditions and tied it up. Boy, that would have been a nice victory to come away with yesterday. Almost a snatch and back for the Brewers. They fell behind early.
There's a bouncer, and the slick fielding first baseman Freddie Freeman gobbles it up for the first out. One away here in the first.
Yeah, the best defense in the National League belongs to the Atlanta Braves. They've only committed 73 errors, the fewest in all of the National League. And there you see in the outfield, Prado, Bourne, and Jason Hayward. Chipper Jones gets a start at third base. Dan Uggla back in the starting lineup. And you got Mike Minor, Brian McCann, the catcher.
Now Jones had the day off yesterday. He can still pick it at third base. His range, of course, not what it used to be at 40 years of age, but he still plays a good third base. And that always comes into play when you have a good bunter like Carlos Gomez, who is always a threat to bunt his way on. And Gomez cuts through, unable to check it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Part of the lineup reshuffle for Ron Renicky without Corey Hart. Ricky Weeks drops down into a run producer spot while Gomez moves up into the 2-hole.
If you're going to get to Mike Minor, you've got to hit the ball up the middle into the opposite field. We say that a lot, but it really applies to this guy. He doesn't mess around too much on the inside corner. He wants to get you away. He'll show inside. He's got a very good changeup.
Almost hit Gomez. Just missed his back foot. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saw Gomez wincing a little bit after that big swing a moment ago. Keep an eye on him, see how he gets through this at bat and this game. He fouls that one away. Gomez saw a steady diet of fastballs in yesterday's game against the Cardinals. Any breaking ball he saw was just a show pitch. The Cardinals were on the attack with Carlos Gomez, not just fastballs, but inside corner fastballs.
And it's kind of interesting because Gomez likes the baseball in on him. He really does. But when you have big velocity, which the Cardinals were able to show yesterday, particularly out of the bullpen, tough to handle that pitch when you're getting mid-90s on the inside corner.
Got him. Strikes him out with a fastball. Gomez is retired, and 2 gone for Mike Minor, his first strikeout. And that'll bring up Ryan Braun. Good to see Braun back in the starting lineup. There was some question whether he would be available tonight. Left yesterday's game with a right wrist injury, and he actually flew home from St. Louis with a protective brace on that wrist just to keep it stable.
Man, good to have him back. That would not have been good to have Braun and Corey Hart out of the lineup at the same time. Ryan says he's okay, not 100%, but good enough to play today.
Braun had a huge road trip. He hit .355 on the road trip through Miami and St. Louis. Had the game-winning home run against the Cardinals on Friday night, that 13-inning marathon game that ended at 2:05 a.m. That was his lone home run of the road trip, but it was a memorable one. Braun comes in leading the league in homers with 38. Has 100 runs batted in. Chase Headley has taken over the lead spot in RBIs in the National League.
Some kind of year for Headley. Everybody talking about him for a Gold Glove, just like Ramirez. Big offensive year for a guy in San Diego. Not easy to do.
Now Headley has 102 RBIs. Braun with 100. And for Ryan Braun, he's the first in franchise history to have 5 years, 5 different seasons of 100 RBIs or more. And Cecil Cooper had 4 100 RBI seasons. Prince Fielder had 4 as well. Nobody's ever had 5 until Braun.
Keep an eye on that wrist. A lot of times, particularly if it's the top hand, the hand that really takes over on a pitch in on you. That could be the pitch that gives Braun a little bit of a problem today. But that last pitch, a changeup away. And they're gutting it out here tonight.
Full count, 2 outs. And he stays alive. A foul tip. Braun certainly knows as well as anyone a superstar player. Just his presence in the lineup can make a big difference. He looks like he's swinging free and easy right now. Gone through a lot of treatment to try to prepare for this game. Another 3-2 coming from Minor. And a little changeup missed. Ryan Braun draws the walk. Nothing wrong with his legs, and now we'll see if Braun tries to run on Mike Minor. Brian McCann, the Atlanta catcher, is not throwing the baseball well. He never was a great catch and throw player, but he has a shoulder injury right now, and he is really struggling to throw the baseball.
Yeah, McCann's a hitter. Make no mistake about that. And you would think that the Brewers, as many stolen bases as they have this year, they're going to take advantage of that in this series.
Here's Aramis Ramirez with Braun at first, and a swing and a miss. Ramirez comes in with 22 home runs for the year. Has 90 driven in. He's second on the club in RBIs. And a .297 batting average. After a 3-hit game on Saturday, Ramirez finally hit the 300 mark for the season. Aramis on the road trip was 7 for 19. He had 368 on the road trip. He did miss a couple of games. Tightness in his oblique around the back. Pretty good numbers, right? Against Mike Minor. 5 for 10. Strike 2.
Now those numbers for Ramirez, you could pretty much say numbers like that every road trip, every homestand for a long time. He's been red hot. Able to get that batting average up around 300 and hitting the ball all over the diamond. Ron Renicky very pleased with his offense.
In the dirt, and there goes Braun, and McCann won't bother. So that'll be a wild pitch. And now the Brewers with a runner in scoring position against Minor. And a big run producer at the plate in Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah, to take nothing away from Ricky Weeks, but this really is what's going to affect Aramis Ramirez in this series as long as Corey Hart's out of the lineup. How aggressive are they going to be in throwing him strikes?
2-2. And Ramirez lays off. Which means could be a big series for Ricky Weeks. You figure he'll be batting quite a bit with base runners on. Batting in the 5-hole today. Ramirez pops it up. Freddie Freeman wants it, and that will retire the side. So Minor works around a walk. No score. We're off and running at Miller Park. We head to the second.
pitching coach Rick Kranitz impressed with Willie Peralta's first big league start last week in Miami. Rick told me Peralta has a good sinker, a better sinker than he thought, and he threw it well to left and right-handed hitters. Kranitz said against a veteran team like the Braves, Peralta can't get boxed into fastball counts. He needs to get ahead, keep the sinker down, and mix in the changeup as well, guys.
Well, he is certainly a guy the Brewers have their eye on, and he is on the verge of being a star in many's opinions about Willie Peralta. His stuff certainly plays like a superstar. He throws in the mid-90s with that tail on it, that sink. This will be an interesting confrontation here between Peralta and Chipper Jones.
And he started him out with a changeup. That gives you an idea of the pitching moxie that Willie Peralta possesses. First pitch changeup to a future Hall of Famer.
Now the 23-year-old Peralta, the 40-year-old Chipper Jones, and flash bulbs everywhere with every pitch. 2 balls and a strike on Jones, and that one's low. 3-1.
You just got to let Willie Peralta get his starts and continue through this month of September. Don't have too many expectations for him. You don't pressure him too much. Allow him to learn as he goes. I think you're right. I think that
as Jones sends this one out to Ryan Braun for out number 1.
I think the fact that Martin Maldonado is his catcher in his first 2 starts is really that calming influence that allowed him to be able to be himself, and that familiarity between the two of them. I think that was a big reason why he had such a good start in Miami, and you could expect the same here tonight.
Maldonado already with a caught stealing. He gunned down Jason Hayward to end the first inning. So 1 out here is Freddie Freeman, slick fielding first baseman of the Braves. He's had a terrific year. Speaking of first baseman, I want to bring in Mark Concanon again. Any update on Corey Hart and how long he might be away from the starting lineup for Ron Renicky?
BA, at this point, all we know is that Corey is meeting with the team doctor, William Raj, trying to determine, first of all, what the injury is. It was first reported to be an ankle sprain, but now it looks like more of a foot injury, perhaps an arch injury. So they're trying to determine what the injury is and how serious it is. Of course, Corey leaving the game yesterday in St. Louis after rounding second. At this point, Ron Renicky told me he's in the dark just as much as anyone else, just keeping the good thought, hoping for some good news. But of course, as soon as we hear anything, if we hear any update before the end of the ball game, we'll pass it along. And that man hoping that the news is positive. He needs his big first baseman back in the lineup.
Yeah, he was very cautious, Ron Renicky. Thank you, Mark, about how fast he could come back as Freeman draws the walk. I mean, you've suffered your fair share of injuries, Rock. He's talking about a hot spot in his ankle, not necessarily a twist of the ankle or a sprain, but something's going on that is unusual here.
Yeah, and again, he did it, rounding second base in St. Louis, and it looked kind of innocent at the time. He was able to play defense, but as it went on, it was apparent that he was really having a tough time. But you never know how long these things are going to take. I mean, Ron Renicky mentioned that it may be a week. Who knows? It may be longer. Nobody knows for sure. And next couple of days are going to be very important for Corey.
Snap throw to first, and it is in time. Maldonado wipes out another Braves base runner. Freeman got too far off the bag as Maldonado blocked that pitch in the dirt, and he guns him down.
Got a tremendous throwing arm, and watch the feet of Maldonado, how quick they are. That throw right on the money. Ishikawa able to drop the tag on him. You always know when a catcher has a good arm, when he likes to show it off. Look at this peg. Right on the money, not even close. And really, Freddie Freeman didn't venture that far off the bag. He just got caught leaning.
2 great throws from Maldonado. So 2 gone for Dan Uggla. And there is ball 2. Uggla has been in and out of the starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves. Last week it made huge news. Uggla, an all-star this year and a very highly compensated second baseman, was taken out of the starting lineup. Freddie Gonzalez, the Braves manager, said his playing time was not guaranteed from here on out, but then he put him back in a game primarily because of a matchup in New York, and he's played in every game since. This is his 4th consecutive start. He got hot at Citi Field against the Mets.
Yeah, one of the best run-producing second basemen that there's been in the big leagues for the last few years. You can see the numbers that he's been able to post. 2011, a little bit down with the RBIs, but the home run totals, they speak for themselves for a guy that plays second base.
Three balls and 2 strikes on Dan Uggla. And a chopper over to third. Ramirez, a long throw and right on the money. And the inning is over. The throwing arm of Martin Maldonado coming up big already in the first inning into the inning, gunning down Hayward. And then he picks off Freddie Freeman in the second. He's already wiped out 2 Braves base runners in the first 2 innings. And his spot in the batting order will be coming up. The Subway Sub Prize on the line is the NL wild card standings. The Atlanta Braves are 5.5 up on the St. Louis Cardinals for the top spot. Remember, 2 spots go to the postseason this year. There'll be a wild card playoff with the top 2. The Cardinals are 1.5 games up on the Dodgers, 2.5 up on the Pirates and the Brewers. Instead of 4 back, which is where it could have been with a win yesterday, find themselves 6 back with 22 to play.
Those were 3 great games in St. Louis. I mean, think about it. Brewers winning 2 out of 3. I guess if you told everybody that the team would win 2 out of 3 before you left Miami, I think everybody would be happy about that. But you win the first 2, you come back in the 9th, and a little disappointing, but a very good series.
Well, Ricky Weeks has been a big part of it. His last 11 games, he's hit 4 home runs. He has 7 driven in. And a .353 batting average. He's sprayed the ball all over the ballpark. He's really been good. He's been more Ricky-like since the All-Star break. After a dreadful first half, he's been trying to dig himself out of a hole ever since. And he comes into play today with a batting average of .227. That's low by a season standard for Weeks and his career stats, but that's up there considering what he was at the All-Star break. He was hitting under .200.
No, not trying to pull everything. He trusting his hands, letting the ball get to him, and a lot of damage up the middle and the right center. Gap to gap more for Ricky now than early in the season. A lot of hard work between Johnny Nairn and Ricky all year. Finally starting to pay off.
Now, Ricky Weeks and Dan Uggla very much along the same discussion. And what you say about Uggla, you can say about Weeks. These are 2 of the top home run hitting second basemen in all of baseball. But both have had their struggles this season. Remember, it was Dan Uggla who had a poor first half last year. Then he got hot and carried the Braves as much as he could in the second half. Just the opposite this year for Uggla.
No, it certainly hasn't been offense that has the Braves where they're at right now. I mean, the starting pitching has been very good. These guys are all throwing the ball well. They've got about as hard of throwers in that bullpen as there is in all of baseball. And those guys throwing well. Did not in September last year. They are this year.
There's ball 4. So Ricky Weeks, like Dan Uggla, takes his fair share of walks, and he draws the walk here to start the second inning. And the second walk issued by Mike Minor.
And come out to Miller Park as the Brewers host the New York Mets this coming Friday through Sunday. Call 902-4000 or visit Brewers.com.
So here is Maldonado now. An excellent bunter, Maldonado, among many other things. And maybe in a different scenario you might see him bunt, but Renicky does not have the matchup in his favor with Ishikawa, who is on deck, and Mike Minor. Something he's had to do with the injury to Corey Hart.
Man, let him swing away. He's got home run power. You're down near the bottom of the batting order. And Mike Minor has the tendency to give up home runs. He's given up a ton of them, the third most in all the National League. 25, but a lot of those coming early. Kept the ball in the ballpark very well his last 7 starts. Only 3 home runs allowed.
Maldonado has been much more of a threat offensively than the Brewers thought he would be. Had a great season in the minor leagues with the bat last year. A slow start with the bat this year in AAA, but he's been good in the big leagues. He's hitting .275. 7 home runs, 26 driven in.
And a combination of he and Lucroy have been pretty productive this year for Milwaukee. When you add their numbers, they're pretty good.
The envy of every other major league team to have 2 talented young catchers, both at 26 years of age, Lucroy and Maldonado. Lucroy catches 2 of every 3. Maldonado has that 3rd game typically. In the air, center field. Did he get it? Nope. That's going to stay in here. And Bourne makes the play. Weeks will retreat.
And just got it down toward the end a little bit. Didn't miss the sweet spot by much. And gave it a pretty good ride to center field. Michael Bourne has to feel as though playing in Atlanta, he's playing in half of an outfield considered where he played before Houston. That's still a big ballpark in Atlanta, but nothing like center field in Houston.
And you can tell right away tonight, especially, that the ball is not carrying like it has been throughout the hot summer here in Wisconsin. The ball really jumps here at Miller Park when the temperature is high. I mean, it's a hitter-friendly park anyway. But there's a little touch of fall in the air, and the ball's not carrying quite like it has been, or at least what we've seen. Ishikawa takes strike 1 from Minor. One thing about Travis Ishikawa, he has done a nice job when he has been in the starting lineup for Ron Renicky, and that's against right-handers or left-handers.
Yeah, this is his 19th start tonight, and he's hitting over 300 as a starter with 4 home runs. And when he doesn't start, he's been very effective off the bench. Ron Renicky's best pinch hitter. Not too bad against lefties. Hey, put him in the lineup because you want to shore up your defense as best you can with Corey Hart out of the lineup.
Now, Ishikawa does have 4 hits this year against lefties. He's 4 for 14, .286 average. He's down 0-2. Weeks at first, and there's a called strike 3. Caught him guessing. Ishikawa is rung up. Second strikeout for Minor. Well, a reminder to get all your high school football action with Fox Sports Prep Zone this Friday at 7 p.m. You can tune into Fox Sports Wisconsin Plus Greendale takes on Milwaukee, or log on to foxsportswisconsin.com, click on the Prep Zone tab, and you get Eau Claire Memorial and Chippewa Falls, Oshkosh West, and Wisconsin Rapids. You can find out more information on foxsportswisconsin.com. Strike one to Jeff Bianchi. Once again getting the start at shortstop tonight. We saw him make his first career start at third base on the last road trip, filling in for Aramis Ramirez. Bianchi hitting .213. He's 10 for 47 in his first trip to the big leagues this year. He hit a long home run in Miami. A massive ballpark. Showed great power in Miami, which was unexpected.
Yeah, he's got some pop in his back. Stays back well. And it's just a matter of whether Bianchi's going to be able to hit enough, but because his defense has been very good.
Appearing in his 22nd game of the season. He's made 12 starts now. All but one of those at the shortstop position. He was a good hitter down in AAA this year. He had .317 in 73 games with the Nashville Sounds, and had 5 home runs in those 73 games. Down on the count, 1-2. Weeks takes off. Pitch is high. Throw to second. Not in time. No chance to get Weeks. He got a great jump and a stolen base.
And Brian McCann has only thrown out 18 of 88 base runners this year. Not a very good percentage. You talk about that shoulder that's given him some problems. A great jump from Ricky Weeks. Going on the first pitch and not even close.
Well, now a base hit will score a run. 2-2 to Bianchi. And he slaps one foul.
A lot of guys will do that. I mean, if you can't really get a good read on a pitch, you're going the first move. I said the first pitch, but the first move they make, you hope that he's not going to throw over. And even if he does, you keep going. And Ricky guessed right that time.
A shame that belongs on Brian McCann's caught stealing record. Yadier Molina wouldn't have been able to throw out Weeks after that jump. How come pitchers don't have stolen bases against them?
They don't have a stat for that, but they do have stolen bases that they eliminate, right, on a pickoff.
Right.
Pitchers caught stealing they have, but they don't have. That was such a ridiculous jump. The catcher didn't have any chance to throw him out stats.
Well, maybe he was starting early because the catcher's so good, right, Rock? 2-2 pitch, and down goes Bianchi. So Minor strikes him out with a changeup, and the Brewers come up empty in the second.
Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Back at Miller Park, Milwaukee, Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Mark Concannon, Brad Weimer, and Kevin Shank manning the operations in the truck. Great to have you with us. Peralta has 2 scoreless thus far. He's given up 1 hit. Peralta gave up a single to Jason Hayward, but Hayward was wiped out on a caught stealing. Maldonado has caught Hayward and picked off Freddie Freeman. So Peralta has still faced the minimum. And now the bottom of the order coming up. Brian McCann now hitting 7th in this Braves lineup, which is a bit of a shock to the system. But as he's been dealing with his injured right shoulder, his batting average has plummeted. He's hitting .231 starting play today.
It's been a struggle offensively for the Braves, but that's just about the only thing that has not gone well so far. And you can get away with not scoring a lot of runs when you have the kind of pitching that the Braves have. They won 2 games against the Rockies 1-0 in a series. That doesn't happen every day.
Right, back-to-back 1-0 wins, and then the next night they won 3-0.
So you get pitching like that, all you need is a few runs.
1 ball, 2 strikes on McCann. Bouncing ball. The shift was on. Bianchi ranging over. Look at this play. Jeff Bianchi had plenty of time with McCann running, but that was something special from the rookie shortstop.
Yeah, the big shift was on. Once that ball got by Peralta, it was going to be a tough play. Well, he tried to go down and get it. He missed it, but look at where Bianchi ends up when he throws that baseball. He fields that baseball where Ricky Weeks ordinarily is going to be. And look at the throw off balance, right on the money. That's what we're talking about. His defense has been tremendous.
Boy, that was something. He's made just 1 error since he's been in the big leagues. Speaking of talented shortstops, here comes one here at Andrelton Simmons. Look how far Bianchi has to go here.
And he's playing. He picks this ball up basically where Ricky would have been in a double play situation. And ends up almost on the right field line once he stops running.
Andrelton Simmons here is one of the prizes out of the Atlanta Braves minor league system. He was rolling when he was injured. He broke his right pinky finger on the 8th of July, and he is just coming back. His first game back tonight after a couple of rehab appearances. Aoki with room makes a catch just inside fair territory for the second out. 2 up and 2 down for Willie Peralta. You gotta love the pace Willie Peralta pitches. He works fast. He has great stuff, but he knows it's important to create a little tempo in a ball game as well. He has a terrific feel for the game.
And you can credit Maldonado with a little bit of that. I mean, he knows Peralta about as good as Peralta knows himself. So he hangs a sign down there. It's pretty much what he's going to throw. That has a lot to do with pace. Pace of game. Get the ball, throw it, especially when your catcher knows exactly what you want to throw.
Mike Minor, the Braves pitcher, fouls it away. Not much of a hitter, Minor. He's 4 for 47 this year. It's always entertaining watching Maldonado and Peralta work. We had a good time watching them in Miami. Just the body language. And what's really funny is if Maldonado is a little perturbed about Peralta's location or particular pitch, he will fire one back to the mound as if to say, let's go.
Pitchers don't like it when catchers throw them back to them harder than they throw them. And I think Maldonado has a pretty good chance. I think he might be able to do it.
But you could speak to this as well as anyone. I mean, you have to have a relationship built up to be able to do the things that Maldonado does with Peralta.
Yeah, you can't do that with everybody.
There's a beautiful breaking ball, and down goes Mike Minor. Peralta picks up his first strikeout. Another 3 up, 3 down inning.
It's a very productive road trip for the shortstops Jeff Bianchi and Gene Segura. Segura yesterday recorded his first 3-hit game, but it's Bianchi who gets the start today. So we want to ask fans, which young shortstop, Jeff Bianchi or Gene Segura, have Brewers fans been more impressed with and why? You can tweet us at FS Wisconsin with the hashtag shortstops.
All right, Sophia, thank you. And that is a good debate going on right now, and they're getting equal playing time here lately, with Segura getting the start yesterday, typically at every other day unless there's an overwhelming matchup situation. But Segura's done a nice job. He was outstanding in yesterday's game defensively and had 3 hits as well. Let's take a look at Willie Peralta at the plate. Word is he is a very good hitter. Brewers describe Peralta as a plus athlete. He's a guy who can do a lot of things, including swing the bat. And apparently in pitcher's BP, Rock, which you know means a lot.
It does.
Peralta is hitting him into the far reaches of Miller Park.
Which means he's got some pretty good power on John Shelby and Marcus Hamill.
At 3:30 every afternoon.
A little bit different when the lights come on.
Hey, but if you're a pitcher, man, that's a big moment. That's like game time right there.
I'm not minimizing that, but you're right. Guys can hit, they can hit. And, as Peralta settles in the big leagues, I'm sure he's going to be more comfortable up there at the plate.
I'm thinking he might just launch one here. Or not, as he swings and misses.
He had a launch one swing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. That's the 3rd consecutive strikeout for Mike Minor, and now has 4 for the game.
And you don't expect a lot of base hits from your pitchers, and when you say they handle the bat well, put the bat on the baseball, drop down your bunts, and that's all a manager will ask of a pitcher. Base hits are a bonus.
Back to the top of the order now. Here's Nori Aoki. What do you think about what Aoki has been able to accomplish this season in his first season in the major leagues after a terrific career in Japan? He could have continued his career in Japan, and he's a huge star there. That ball's ripped deep center field. Michael Bourne on the run, and he can't get it. And it bounces up and out. That'll be a ground rule double for Aoki.
And he's showing some pop in his bat, isn't he? Wow. He hit some balls deep in Miami to the opposite field. Hit the home run yesterday down the right field line. He takes this one to center field. Fastball away from him. A nice short stroke. Aoki showing some power. Flexing his muscles this week. And Michael Bourne playing very shallow for Aoki, or he would have been able to catch that one.
Aoki safe at second, safe and secure. New York Life. So he is at second with 1 out, and here is Carlos Gomez. Brewers threatening once again. First hit for Milwaukee. Minor had issued a couple of walks. We're on in weeks with walks, but that's the first base hit. Gomez a strikeout victim in the first. 1 of 4 Mike Minor Ks so far. By the way, that extra base hit by Aoki continues the streak for the Brewers as a team. That is the 80th consecutive game with an extra base hit, and that's the 2nd longest in franchise history at 113 consecutive back in 2008. Gomez pops it up. Tried to bunt his way on. Gomez is good for a bunt attempt about once a night. He's got a lot of bunt hits this season. But what's been interesting about his game this year is he's added the long ball to it. Career best 16 home runs. There goes Aoki, and a swing and a miss. Throw to third is in, not in time.
Whoa.
Looked like the throw was there, but Aoki got around the tag of Chipper Jones somehow.
Yeah, Chipper Jones not arguing, and that keeps Freddie Gonzalez in the dugout. Because it looked like Aoki was out at third base. Look at a good throw, a drop step. Up and late. Nice job by Aoki sliding to the outfield side of the bag and making Chipper Jones's tag a little bit longer. Nice job.
Changes the inning a little bit here. Now the Braves bring their infield in. Aoki is at third base with 1 out. And Gomez just trying to get one in the air at least to get Aoki home and in the air to the outfield.
Well, McCann had a good pitch to throw on. High and inside fastball. He's able to drop step, go behind the runner. And that really gives you good momentum to the throw to third. And he made a good throw.
Brewers have 2 steals. And Gomez strikes out. Second time Gomez has struck out.
And both pitches away. First time a fastball. That time looked like he turned it over. A little two-seamer off the corner.
Well, now 2 men are out. Here comes Ryan Braun. Braves can back their infield up to regular depth.
Ryan Braun might drop down a bunt. Not only do you get a hit, you score a run.
Braun had a bunt base hit in Miami. And we'll do that every now and then. Braun walked his first time up.
Especially he has a sore wrist, right? Drop down a bunt, RBI spot. I don't see it happening though.
Ball and a strike on Braun. Well, the Powerball home run leaderboard, Braun still tops this list. He's been there just about every day of the season. 38 home runs for the year for Braun. That is a career best. He had 37 last year to go along with 33 steals in his MVP year of 2011. But his numbers across the board are as good or better in just about every major statistic. Oh, he had a big cut.
And you can see the reaction from Ryan Braun, a little bit frustrated in that ordinarily I think Ryan puts that ball in the gap somewhere or hits it out. A mistake by Minor got a little bit too much of the plate. The big swing by Braun and fouls it straight back. Missed a good pitch to hit.
Now we'll see what Minor gives him here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aoki at third. And Braun fouls it away. Back to the fastball. Braun's had a good run against Atlanta. That was at the beginning of the season. As a matter of fact, the Brewers were the Braves' home opening series. And Braun had a good series. It's 5 for 12 against the Braves. In that set, the Brewers got swept by Atlanta in early April. Just missed.
Tried to throw the slider, just missed the inside corner. That's a good pitch by Minor. Not sure how Ryan Braun laid off that.
Aoki still at third after a stolen base. 2-2, and Braun rips one to left, right at Prado. Hit it like a bullet. Inning over, and we are still scoreless with 3 in the books at Miller Park.
By the Brewers. Martin Maldonado cutting down Hayward. That was in the first inning. Then a pickoff of Freddie Freeman getting Peralta out of some trouble. And how about this play by Jeff Bianchi, ranging far over towards second base to take a base hit away from Brian McCann. Mike Minor continues his stretch of very good pitch. He's got 4 strikeouts and has not allowed a run.
So we are still scoreless as we head to the 4th inning, and Willie Peralta will face the top of the order. Faced the minimum through the first 3 innings. He did issue a hit and a walk, but those 2 plays by Maldonado wiping out the base runners. Peralta, first time through the batting order, gives up a hit, a walk, and a strikeout as he faces Michael Bourne to start the 4th. Bourne will be a free agent at season's end. He'll be a coveted free agent on the market. Talented center fielder. Began his career with the Phillies. He was traded to the Houston Astros, and then the Astros shipped him over to Atlanta. He has been a big base stealer throughout his career, but not so much this year.
He's got 39. 39 steals and been caught 11 times. Not too bad.
Freddie Gonzalez, his manager, saying he'd like to see Bourne run more, especially as you get into September, putting the pressure on the defense. Especially
when they're not scoring a lot of runs. And I think that's what the Braves manager is talking about. You're not sitting back waiting for the big home run. You got to make something happen. You get Michael Bourne on, he steals, opens up a hole, maybe get something going. Not running with reckless abandon like he did as an Astro. A little bit different situation for him here.
Yeah, there were 3 straight years where Bourne led the National League in stolen bases, and twice he had 61 steals in a season. Hits that one hard, but Yankee up with it. Got to hurry this throw just in time to get Bourne. Plenty of arm from Jeff Bianchi at the shortstop position. And 1 away. Our AT&T trivia question tonight. Who are the 6 active players to have hit at least 2 home runs at County Stadium and Miller Park?
In honor of Chipper Jones.
Gotta be, right? 6 active players have hit at least 2 home runs. Both venues. One gone for Martin Prado. Take strike 1.
That's a good one.
Got you thinking a little bit.
That's one of the best questions we've had this year. That's a good effort.
Bouncing ball. Weeks knocks it down. And Prado will reach. Good effort by Weeks. Unable to get it into his glove. And there's a base hit for Martin Prado. Now, weekdays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, it's the Dan Patrick Show. Don't miss exclusive guests, including high-profile athletes and celebrities, breaking sports news, and insider access. The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays at 8 a.m. on Fox Sports Wisconsin. A man on, 1 out for Jason Hayward. Put a fastball right by him.
I'd imagine Scott Rowland's got to be on that list. That trivia question.
It's a good one.
A-Rod. Got to be a guy who's been around long enough, obviously. Guy that's been in both leagues.
Yeah, somebody broke in maybe in the mid to late 90s. It'd have to be.
Jim Thome, maybe.
What makes that question extra special is the fact that the Brewers switched leagues a couple of years prior to the opening of Miller Park. So some of those longtime American League guys didn't play in Miller Park as a National Leaguer. Bouncing ball, base hit. Hayward singles to right. Prado on his way to third base. The throw comes all the way through, and it is in time. Nori Aoki guns down Martin Prado. And the third Atlanta Brave that has been eliminated off the base paths.
His throws are right on the money more times than not. He made a great throw in yesterday's game. in that 10th inning. And look at this, right on the money. Look at this throw. One hops right to Aramis Ramirez, and that's not even close. Team Prado runs pretty well, and he gets him. Can't throw it any better than that. Tremendous throw.
Well, the Braves have been caught stealing, picked off, and now thrown out. So here's Chipper Jones with 2 away. That is a big play. Instead of 1st and 3rd and 1 out, and Chipper Jones at the plate. Peralta has a little light at the end of the tunnel here in this 4th inning.
Another big play is that Hayward's still at first base. A throw like that on a base hit, you would have thought that he saw the throw going all the way through and get into scoring position, but he didn't.
Hayward was caught stealing in the 1st. With Jones at the plate, he ran on the 1st pitch. Long look from Peralta. Jones bounces one through the shift. A base hit, and Hayward motoring to 3rd. So even with the shift on, Chipper Jones finds a hole. The 3rd consecutive hit. All of them are singles.
And the fact that Hayward not able to get to second base on that throw to 3rd. Coming up big at this point. Pretty good pitch by Willie Peralta. Ordinarily that's going to be an out, but with the shift, Jones able to get it into center field.
And for Chipper Jones now, 2,715 career hits. That ties him for 60th all time. Ties him with Bill Buckner. Rusty Staub is next on the list with 1 more hit. There's strike 1 to Freddie Freeman. Big spot for Peralta here in the 4th. Two gone in the inning. 1st and 3rd for Atlanta. And it's 0-2 on Freeman. 97-mile-an-hour fastball that time.
A little bit of late life to it, up in the strike zone.
Atlanta's best run producer here, Freddie Freeman. Doing all of this at 22 years of age. No balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Freeman is down on strikes. Peralta got one when he needed it. Courtesy of a big play from Nori Aoki. What a throw to cut down Prado. Still scoreless. Inning. And it'll be Aramis Ramirez coming up. And his bobblehead day's coming up.
Yeah, that's this Sunday. And all fans attending the Brewers game, Mets game, we'll get an Aramis Ramirez bobblehead courtesy of Wild Impact Marketing. Call 414-902-4000 or go to the Brewers website. You know it, brewers.com.
Well, Ramirez leads off here in the bottom of the fourth. No score. Atlanta with 3 consecutive hits in the top of this inning, unable to score in the top half as Peralta strikes out Freeman to end the inning. And a great throw from Nori Aoki. And now the Brewers have thrown out a base runner at every base. They are a put out at home plate away from the cycle.
You weren't wrong, because that's not a base. It's a plate.
Right. It's like the dinner plate.
You thought I was going to correct you, but I wasn't.
It's like, 4 fingers in a thumb.
Right. Exactly.
Right? 3 bases in a plate. But it still falls under the total bases statistic if you achieve home plate. Bouncer to Chipper Jones, one third baseman to another. And Ramirez is retired. Our AT&T trivia, it's a good one tonight. Not that the others aren't. Who are the 6 active players to have hit at least 2 home runs at County Stadium and Miller Park? And the answer is Chipper Jones is on that list. A-Rod, there's a good guess, Rock. Adrian Beltre, Jim Tomei, you got that one. You got Scott Rowland, and who'd have thunk it?
Right, Henry Blanco. Wow.
Hank White, he's on the list.
Henry Blanco had 3 home runs at County Stadium and 8 home runs at Miller Park. Of course, he was a Brewer.
Yeah, none of those other guys played for the Brewers, did they?
No. Carlos Lee.
Oh, Lee was on the list. That's right. Ricky Weeks sends one high and deep to left. Oh, playable. Fooled.
Actually, Carlos Lee was not on that list. It was multiple home runs in both County Stadium and Miller Park. Carlos had 1 home run at County Stadium. That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. Now Martin Maldonado, he has been a factor tonight. Gunned down Jason Hayward in the first inning. That ended the inning. And then a nice block and a pickoff of Freddie Freeman, who got off the bag a little bit too far. That was in the second. Defensive impact in this game. Maldonado sent a fly ball deep to center field in the second inning. Two 2-0 on Maldonado. He was ahead of the count in the second inning as well. Miners giving up the 3rd most home runs in the National League this year. But not so many lately, and that changeup that he just threw to Maldonado has been a big reason for his success lately for the Atlanta Braves.
And he's trying to command the inside corner a little bit more. Hitters used to just hang out in the outside part of the plate and just tee off, but it keeps him honest inside, not always for strikes. Keeping the baseball down with a changeup. When you rely more on your fastball and not try and trick hitters so much early in the count, you're more apt to get ahead in the count. And because of that, hitters will swing at pitches out of the strike zone late in the count.
Two and two on Maldonado. And the count goes full. Miners throwing a lot of pitches. 81 pitches right now, and we're only in the 4th inning. Maldonado lines one left field, a base hit. Over to cut it off is Prado, and Maldonado with a wide turn scampers back to first. A 2-out single for the Brewers. Just the second hit against Mike Minor so far.
Yep, able to wait back on a changeup and right off the end of the bat, but able to get it over the head of Chipper Jones for a 2-out single. Thinking about second, but wisely held up.
Yeah, the Brewer catcher's having a good night. He's aboard for Ishikawa, a strikeout victim in the second. That started a streak of 3 strikeouts in a row for Minor. And they ask if he went. Yes, he did. Unable to check his swing. Ishikawa down in the count. Mike Minor's coming off 7 shutout innings against Colorado. He gave up just 1 hit against the Rockies in his last start.
And allowed that 1 hit in the 7th inning. Pitched very well.
He's pitching well. The Braves are playing well. His numbers from his start in a win against Colorado, he struck out 7. He has 5 strikeouts tonight to go along with 2 walks. Maldonado off the bag, and he is just back somehow. Maldonado able to get a toe in there, and remember, it was Freeman who was picked off first base back in the 2nd inning.
Brian McCann can catch a break back behind home plate. Snap throw. Look at Maldonado. Not sure where he's going. Looked like it was going to be an easy out, but you can see a little bit late. He thought Maldonado was going to slide. He didn't. That's frustrating for a catcher. He's throwing well. Just hasn't been able to catch anybody.
Maldy's got a little salsa dancing going there. A little merengue working.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, looks like he might have had him, or certainly could have gone either way. It goes the favor of the Brewers. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ishikawa. Count stays at 2-2. This is the kind of game that the Braves have been playing lately. Their offense has struggled. Getting great pitching, although Minor has a ton of pitches so far. This is number 88, and he strikes out Ishikawa to end the inning. Tough matchup for Ishikawa. 6 strikeouts for Minor, still scoreless.
Braves in a scoreless defensive duel here in the 5th inning. Anti for crew in the community. Before the game tonight, Jerry Bransky honored as this month's community achiever. Jerry had a heart and kidney transplant in 2007. He and his family had some tough times before the transplant, so after he got better, Jerry established the Two Lives, One Heart Foundation. That helps families dealing with transplant operations with light housekeeping, running errands, transportation to and from medical appointments, all free of charge. Jerry Bransky doing great work in the community, guys.
And congratulations to Jerry. Great to see him here at the ballpark tonight. And if you've ever been through that, you know how important that can be. Dan Uggla on the first pitch from Peralta rips one into left center for a base hit. And the Braves with another single. Atlanta has 5 hits in this game, all of them singles. That's the best bolt of the night for the Braves so far.
And 4 of the hits have come in the last 5 hitters. Peralta able to get that big strikeout of Freddie Freeman on the slider to end the 4th.
So here is Brian McCann. Grounded out his first time up. A terrific play by Jeff Bianchi, cutting across second base and over there into the second base territory on the shift. McCann took a cortisone shot to that injured shoulder. He actually has a cyst in his shoulder and had to take a cortisone shot. That knocked him out for a couple of days, knocked him out of the lineup, but since he's returned, he's felt much better. He started to swing the bat much better. Had a game-winning sacrifice fly yesterday in the 10th inning. The Braves went over the Mets. That was Saturday, I beg your pardon. And then yesterday was 1 for 4 with a home run. 20 homers on the season for McCann. I don't know if you saw his home run, Rock, but it was a one-handed, looked like a tennis backhand that he pulled over the right field fence at Citi Field in New York, which is no small task.
Right, that's no cheapie there. Big, strong left-handed hitter, Brian McCann. Not too many guys at this point in the season. You talk about McCann, all the things that he's dealing with, getting banged up, cortisone shots. I mean, there's nobody on that field right now, anywhere in baseball, that feels really good right now. That's been playing all season long. That's what makes the game of baseball such a demanding sport. 162 games. And it just keeps coming at you.
2-2 pitch. Runner goes and a base hit. The Yankee went to cover. And Uggla on his way to third. So the Braves get something started here in the 5th inning. That was right at Jeff Bianchi, but he was on his way to second base to cover the bag.
That's just a beautiful piece of hitting by Brian McCann. I'm not sure if he did that because he saw Bianchi go. I don't think too many guys can do it, but he got a good pitch to hit to the opposite field. Fastball down and away. He got a bat on it. And what could have been a double play ends up first and third, nobody out.
Well, Braves starting to get their hits, second time through the batting order against Peralta. And 5 of the last 6 hitters have singles. Here's Andrelton Simmons now. Able to check his swing, says the crew chief, Gary Cederstrom. Simmons was the rookie of the month in the National League in the month of June. And then he was injured at the beginning of July with that broken finger. Did it while sliding. And understandably, the Braves were very cautious bringing him back. He did play in a couple of minor league games. He's only 23 years of age.
Went through a number of guys trying to fill his spot. Paul Giannis, the former Cincinnati Reds, did a nice job defensively. Brewers will concede a run in hopes to get a double play. Infield's back up the middle, even with the bag on the corners.
And Peralta Trying to dig down deep for a strikeout here. We got the pitcher coming up next, Mike Minor. Peralta has strikeout stuff. 2-1, and Simmons chops one on the ground, but Yankee right on the bag. And the Brewers turn 2, but the Braves score first.
They'll take that after back-to-back singles. They got to score anyway to win. Peralta doing a nice job getting the baseball on the ground, and an easy double play for Jeff Bianchi. Good pitch, slider off the corner. Can't ask for an easier double play.
And Ugla scores the first run. Braves lead 1-0 on 6 hits. Here's Minor. Takes strike 1. Minor was a strikeout victim in the 3rd inning. Peralta has 2 strikeouts. Bianchi once again. And the side is retired. So Peralta gives up a run, but pitches out of a bit of a mess to start the inning.
Hammer the game winner. Dollar bills and Rushhold. That's northeast of Stevens Point, if you're wondering. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
How much northeast of Stevens Point?
Not exactly sure. Never been there. Been to Stevens Point, though.
Nice crowd on hand tonight. It's a part horse, part banana.
No idea.
It's 2 things, Rock. 2 things.
Now, if we saw that on Friday in St. Louis at 1:30 in the morning, I could understand.
That's kind of what we look like at 1:30 in the morning in St. Louis. Jeff Bianchi leads it off for Milwaukee. And now Mike Minor pitching with a lead. Braves got a run in the top of this inning. Dan Ugla scoring on a double play from Andrelton Simmons. So no RBI in that inning. And a liner stab by Freeman. Takes a hit away from Bianchi. The best defense in the National League, the Atlanta Braves, and they give you a taste why.
Big, tall first baseman Freddie Freeman needed every inch there. Wingspan like Corey Hart, able to haul that one in. That would have been nice. Could very well have been a leadoff double, certainly a single, but Freeman able to take it away.
Now one gone for Willie Peralta. He is taking some massive hacks at the plate. Hoping that Mike Minor puts one into his sweet spot here. I'd like to see how far he could actually hit a ball. Quickly down 0-2. Nori Aoki on deck. Brewers are headed back to the top of the order. Braves have just taken the lead in the top of this inning, and the Brewers trying to answer. Peralta did a nice job getting out of a jam in the top of this inning. Back-to-back hits to start it. First and third, nobody out. A double play and a ground out, and Peralta was quickly out of it, although the Braves did score. There's a strike called. Peralta is rung up, and strikeout number 7 for Mike Minor. Our AT&T Uverse Reverse Replay take you back to the defense of the Brewers. It started with Maldonado's throw in the first, and then a pickoff in the second inning. Jeff Bianchi ranging over across the diamond to make that play. And then how about this throw from Aoki, gunning down Martin Prado in the fourth.
Yeah, Prado couldn't believe it that he was thrown out. He runs pretty well.
And that covers each of the first 4 innings. Those 4 plays. Braves have been eliminated off the base paths 3 times tonight. And they have just 1 run on 6 hits. Aoki, who had that great throw in the fourth. He ripped a double over the head of Michael Bourne to center field in the 3rd inning. One of only 2 Brewers hits tonight.
And because of that, Bourne's a little bit more deep in the outfield right now than he was earlier.
Aoki into right center. Hayward going back, feeling for the wall. Makes a catch for the out. Ball's just not traveling here tonight. 1-2-3 inning for Minor. Night so far, it's 1-0 Atlanta. And a reminder that the Packers are back at practice, looking to bounce back after their loss to the 49ers. And Paul Imig has his report card up from the game, and more from Green Bay at foxsportswisconsin.com. Packers are up next on Thursday against the Bears, which will be an off day for the Brewers. So we'll be dialed into the Green Bay Packers. Caught a little bit of that game yesterday and after the Brewers game. I know the Brewers are looking forward to the off day Thursday for a number of reasons. After 20 days in a row of playing games, and I've heard, I think there's going to be a number of Brewers maybe going up to that game in Green Bay to check out Lambeau Field, those who haven't seen it before.
Good way to relax. Nice trip up to Green Bay from Milwaukee. I know you've been there.
I have. I love going there. I go once a year, and I would love to go more, but
tough to find free tickets.
no free tickets available to the Packers games, right? Little bouncer. Oh, look at this play, Peralta. And he gets the out with his bare hand. They said he was a great athlete, and he showed it right there. Outstanding play to get Michael Bourne.
And that's the only way they were going to be able to get him. Had that ball got by Peralta, I don't think Jeff Bianchi would have had much of a shot. That ball wouldn't hit all that hard. The only guy that could have made the play was able to make it, and he made it barehanded. And he made it look easy. And bounces around off that mound pretty well for a big guy.
He has been very impressive in his 2 big league starts, this being the second one. Pitching with a lot more poise than I expected he would. And it's not that we haven't seen Peralta. We've seen him in spring training the last couple of years.
Not the same, though.
He's a young pitcher. He just turned 23 this year.
A lot easier to relax in spring training than it is in the big leagues. But he's handled his first 2 starts very well.
The Brewers are so excited about what they have in their young pitching coming up.
He pitches like there's a sense that he knows he belongs here. It doesn't have that deer in the headlights look that sometimes you see from a guy coming up.
He's just playing catch with the guy he's been playing catch with since A-ball, Martin Maldonado, who is another guy that has impressed and has looked like and acted like he has belonged here from day one.
You think about all the contributions from young players this year that the Brewers have brought up. The reason that they are knocking at the door at 500 once again, and some around here have thoughts of a wild card berth. I know he does. Going for it, but you know, all the contributions from these young guys, the starting pitchers. Guy like Jim Henderson, not young but new to the big leagues. Mike Fiers, Peralta now.
Ball and 2 strikes on Prado. And that one misses a little bit low. 2-2 on Prado. Well, the Brewers are on a terrific run. They've won 15 of 20. At one point they were 12 games under 500. Now they're 2 games under, and trying to push back to 500, and then you can start looking at the wild card. There's a base hit. That was a nice piece of hitting by Prado. Peralta staying away from Prado, and he just ripped one to right field, his second hit.
Great approach, getting on top of it and hitting a line drive. Good hitter. Hey, Fan Appreciation Night is Saturday, September 29th, as the Brew Crew takes on the Astros. Come out to the ballpark for your chance to win fabulous prizes, including a 2013 Chevrolet Camaro. Visit Brewers.com/fan appreciation for tickets.
So Jason Hayward now. He's 2 for 2 against Peralta. Both singles. Went to the opposite field in the first. He pulled one in the hole in the 4th inning. Brewers looking for that ground ball to turn 2. And a double play in the 5th inning. And Peralta getting a lot of ground ball outs in this game tonight. He's kept his shortstop Bianchi busy in this game. Brewers are keeping an eye on the scoreboard as well, chasing the Pirates, the Dodgers, and the Cardinals in the wild card race. Cincinnati has come back against Pittsburgh. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th and now have tied it up 3-3. Pirates Reds, bottom of the 8th inning. Andrew McCutchen is homer tonight. Chris Heisey as well. Dodgers are off tonight. St. Louis will be in San Diego a little bit later tonight. One ball, one strike on Hayward. Hayward just making a few tweaks to his approach at the plate. New hitting coach Greg Walker. Braves employ the 2 hitting coach method. They have Scott Fletcher, a former Brewer, as the assistant hitting coach. Walker coming to the Braves from the Chicago White Sox. And this has been one of their big success stories here in Jason Hayward.
Yeah, good pitch in on his hands right there at 95 miles an hour. Big guy wants to get his arms extended, and you leave one out over the plate, he's going to hurt you. There it is. Good pitch right off the ankle. Actually, the leg.
Two and two on Hayward. Prado at first. He's singled. Chipper Jones on deck. Count remains at 2-2. Hayward's only 22. He and Freddie Freeman are the young stars that the Braves are building their franchise around offensively. Both 22 years of age.
Seems like every team's got a couple of 22-year-olds. Never used to see that very much. You do now.
This is Hayward's 3rd year in the big leagues. He was in the major leagues as a regular at the age of 20. As a matter of fact, he finished 2nd in the Rookie of the Year voting in 2010. That was the year Buster Posey won the Rookie of the Year. A couple of guys from the Atlanta area. Georgia born. Another 2-2 from Peralta. Popped him up. Will it stay playable? Maldonado will give it a look, and it's off the dugout. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tough battle going on here between Peralta and Hayward. The Braves play very good defense. Their fans sometimes not so much. After that boot above the dugout just a moment ago. Forgot to put his glove on.
Tough catch. A lot of spin on that ball.
Got him. Peralta went with a slider and he strikes out Jason Hayward. Big strikeout there. That's number 3 for Peralta.
Most of the outs are strikeouts and ground balls. Peralta's only allowed 2 fly ball outs, which is impressive.
Calvin and Racine is asking in our carsoup.com email the booth question. What do you guys think about Chipper Jones' retirement tour? I think it's probably been uplifting for him that he announced his retirement and gets to do this tour. I mean, he's a guy that loves the spotlight. He's always performed when all eyes have been on him. There are a lot of players. I mean, Lance Berkman comes to mind. Berkman is going to have knee surgery, and his season is over, by the way, and his career could be over. But Jones wanted to get it out there so he didn't get asked about it all year. And he's had this victory lap of sorts, and his team is playing well.
It's a lot of fun to watch him go through. His last time at Miller Park as long as he retires. Now, here's a guy's hitting 300. I mean, 19th season, and the only switch hitter ever to have a 300 or better batting average for his career and 300 or more home runs. Incredible career. A first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, when you think of the all-time greatest switch hitters in baseball history, Chipper Jones is in that group. Mickey Mantle, certainly Eddie Murray, and Chipper Jones. And that's how they go in home runs. Mantle, Murray, and Jones. Mantle hit 536, Murray 504. Chipper Jones has 468 home runs.
Oh, the all-time hits leader was a switch hitter, Pete Rose. You take away the home runs and the RBIs, and Pete Rose has to be considered one of the best switch hitters of all time.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
No.
Well, Chipper Jones always has a green light, 3-0. And he takes a strike on the edge. 3-1. There are 2 outs in the inning. Close.
Look at the way Maldonado catches it. Watch the way he frames it. Makes it look good. Holds it right there. And he sold it to Adrian Johnson.
Swing and a miss. Then with the heat. And that's the sink you're talking about, Rock, on Peralta's fastball. It's not just velocity.
Right down the middle, but it had a little bit of a dip as it got to Jones.
What does he do here? The rookie pitcher against the legendary switch hitter. Full count, runner goes, and down he goes. Chipper Jones, a tip of the cap to Peralta as he threw him a hook to strike him out. Beauty. Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Brewers may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. So here we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Carlos Gomez leads off, a swing and a miss. Mike Minor has been tough on Gomez, been tough on the Brewers tonight. Just 2 hits. And working on a shutout through the first 5 innings. if nothing else, pitch count is going to get Minor here tonight. He's already over 100 as he works into the 6th inning now. 0-2 pitch. Gomez makes contact, which is a plus, and fouls it away. He has not seen the ball well off the hand of Mike Minor tonight.
Yeah, Minor's got him completely confused, going in and out. And with the fastball and a changeup, two-seam fastball. He's had very good command tonight. A couple of walks. He's only given up the 2 hits.
0-2 pitch, and that one's high and away. Brewers have had a couple of chances to score in this game. Stranded a runner at second in the 2nd. Left Aoki at third base in the 3rd inning. He was there with 1 out. There's a foul tip off McCann. Couldn't tell if it got his hand or his knee or both.
Right off the top of the knee, and I'll tell you, when that happens, it feels like somebody just hit you with a hammer right on top of the knee. Now, as bad as it feels right away, it goes away instantly. You remember those, right?
Oh, yeah.
They do go away, and you feel all right. You feel like you're never going to walk again for about 15 seconds, but as quickly as it got you, it goes away that fast.
And then starts the rainbow of colors as the bruising starts to set in. You know, it starts like a nice green and a little bluish, then into purple.
It feels good when it stops hurting.
They should put that in one of those quote books with a little dash. Bill Schroeder. It feels good when it stops hurting.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's the way you have to look at it.
Gomez into left center. Bourne is there. And Carlos Gomez is retired. 1 out in the 6th. Minor keeps mowing him down. Time to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Peralta has topped out at 98 tonight. Minor has a good fastball as well. He's been as fast as 93. This guy's coming up big for the Braves when they have lost some starting pitching. Minor and Chris Medlin go along with Tommy Hansen, Tim Hudson. Hudson will be up tomorrow. And Paul Mahallam has done a nice job for Atlanta. Cubs traded him to the Braves, and he's been one of those sneaky good trades across Major League Baseball. We'll see Mahallam on Wednesday night. Strike 1 to Braun. 1-1 the count.
He's just throwing everything for strikes. Keeping the Brewers off balance tonight.
Well, the Braves have been using their bullpen a lot lately, especially their relievers that pitch when they have the lead late. It's going to be interesting to see how long Fredi Gonzalez will extend Mike Minor. You know, the Brewers would love to string together a few hits and at least get the Braves manager thinking about a change.
Yeah, that bullpen for the Braves, I mean, shortens the game quite a bit. I mean, you talk about left-handers of Flaherty, Venters. These two guys can rush it up there in the mid to upper 90s, and then their closer, Kimbrel, triple digits guy. So if you don't score early, good luck.
It's Corey Guerin loosening in the Braves pen. So Minor with a ball and 2 strikes on Braun. 1 out in the inning. Got Ramirez coming up next. 2-2. Braun playing with an injured wrist that knocked him out of yesterday's game. On a night when Corey Hart is unavailable with an ankle injury. Braun hit one sharply in the third. He lined one to left with Aoki at third base, but he hit it right at Martin Prado, and the inning ended. He walked in the first inning. He's had 2 good at bats against Minor. Looking for a mistake here. 2-2. And he fights another one off.
Hasn't made a mistake yet with that slider. He's kept it down and in, not allowing the Brewers to elevate it. Really haven't been too many hard hit balls off the bats in Milwaukee today.
Another 2-2, and Braun bounces another one foul. He keeps spoiling the Minor offerings. Braun has seen 20 pitches in this game so far. He's seen everything Minor has to offer. And he fights another one off. That was a good changeup from Minor, and somehow Braun able to foul it off.
He's throwing everything up there at Braun right now. Ryan with some very defensive swings, but he's been able to stay alive. Looking for a mistake. Of course, all the Brewers have been looking for a mistake tonight. Haven't gotten it.
Strike called outside corner. Minor hits the edge, and Braun is retired. 2 outs in the inning. Can't roll it out there any better than that. Strikeout number 8 for Mike Minor.
That's 115th pitch from Mike Minor, and he dots the eye on the outside corner. Braun thought it was away. Too close to take. Looked like a good pitch, and that's going to be it for the lefty.
How about that? Leave him in to face Braun, and now a new pitcher coming in will set him up. Scoreless innings against Milwaukee. Gives up just 2 hits in this game. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, but a pitch count got him. 115 pitches. He finishes by striking out Ryan Braun. And Freddie Gonzalez goes to the bullpen. Corey Guerin now in, just his 14th appearance in the big leagues this year.
Yeah, he's been up and down 4 different times this year with the Atlanta Braves. Split time between Atlanta and AAA Gwinnett. Had great numbers down in the minor leagues. 9 saves and a .230 earned run average. You see how well he's done so far with the Braves.
Got a little time last year with Atlanta. Back up this year. And he has a nasty breaking ball, as you can see. Sidewinder.
Very deceptive delivery.
Guerin with those 14 strikeouts in just 12 1/3 in the major leagues this year, and he has excellent command. He's only walked 2. Ramos Ramirez is 0 for 2. A lot of offers tonight for the Brew Crew. Just 2 hits off Mike Minor.
Hey, this Sunday, all fans attending the Brewers-Mets game will get an Aramis Ramirez bobblehead courtesy of Wild Impact Marketing. For tickets, call 902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
Well, Ramirez been nursing a sore back, more of an oblique injury than a back injury. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. The Braves scored in the 5th. They scored a run on a double play ball from Andrelton Simmons. Uggla scored the run. That has been it. 1-0 Atlanta. Guerin was closing games for AAA Gwinnett. Had 9 saves. He's never made a start in his career as a professional. And he walks Aramis Ramirez. Just the 3rd walk of the season for Guerin.
Bringing the tying run to the plate. Guerin is one of 11 relievers in Freddie Gonzalez's bullpen. 11.
An army of arms. He will not get caught short once again after a collapse last year. Braves are trying to erase all of those concerns and questions. So here's Ricky Weeks. Roger McDowell, the Atlanta pitching coach, out to chat with Guerin. Not a bad skill right there.
Juggling peanuts. Can you juggle?
Nope. 2. Inside, ball 2 on Weeks. Yeah, big spot here for the Brewers. There are 2 outs. Guerin's having trouble throwing strikes. He walked Ramirez on 5 pitches. And there's strike 1 to Weeks. 2-1. Weeks just missed one in the 4th inning. Had a home run swing. He just missed it by a little bit on the bat. 2-2.
Yeah, Gavin, an arm angle like that, he's got that big sweeping slider, and then he's going to try and jam you with a fastball. Just when you start leaning out over the plate with that breaking ball, he'll bust the fastball in on your hands.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Weeks. And he got him. So Guerin strikes out Ricky Weeks to end the inning. The Brewers come up empty in the 6th. 1-0 Braves. complete innings. It has been a night for the pitcher. Game summary brought to you by Toyota. Mike Minor for the Atlanta Braves. He goes 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs. He struck out 8. And Willie Peralta for the Brewers. Peralta just taken out. He goes 6 innings with 1 earned run. Gives up 7 hits and strikes out 4. And both of these pitchers strike out the big sluggers for their final batter today. Peralta struck out Chipper Jones to end his night, and Mike Minor struck out Ryan Braun to end his evening. So rocking to be Jose Veras now as we go to the 7th. 1-0 Atlanta.
Well, pitched yesterday against the Cardinals, retired the only batter that he faced. And that was Matt Holliday to strand an inherited runner in the 7th inning. 63rd appearance for Jose Veras. Another heavy workload again this year.
Veras will face Freddie Freeman to lead off, Dan Ugla, and then Brian McCann. It's normally a part of the order you'd see in the middle, upper middle. But for Freddie Gonzalez tonight, that's 5, 6, and 7. Well, tip your hat to Willie Peralta. He showed well once again. His 2 starts have been impressive.
It was one of those nights where he really didn't use his changeup a whole lot. He threw it a few times. I remember him started Chipper Jones off with a changeup. Perhaps his most impressive at bat was that Chipper Jones at bat. Ended the 6th. He got behind him 3-0. Came back to get him. Very poised out there on the mound. Willie Peralta.
Curveball, strike called. Freeman is rung up.
Come out to Miller Park as the Brewers host the New York Mets this coming Friday through Sunday. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or go to Brewers.com.
Well, Corey Hart, he is down tonight with an ankle injury. Don't know when he will return. Brewers are hoping it is soon, but probably going to be a day-to-day thing for Corey Hart. Hart is out with an ankle injury that he talked about today is more of a spot in his arch of his foot. In the arch. Just a hot spot in there from Corey Hart. He didn't roll his ankle, but he did something to disrupt it yesterday. Bouncing ball. Here is Weeks on the other side, and a low throw, but in time for the out. Ishikawa lost the handle on the transfer. So 2 up and 2 down for Jose Veras. Don't forget our instructional is coming up tonight. Bill Schroeder and Jerry Augustine will be your instructional instructors. We need a day off from each other.
You think?
We're starting to finish each other's sentences.
Yeah,
I don't have anything left on the instructional other than
that's bad.
What will your role be?
Well, we're going to be talking. Jerry's going to be talking about a pitcher and being consistent in the delivery and the ability to repeat a delivery to throw strikes.
Like Mike Minor, very repeatable mechanics.
Right. Very repetitive tonight. Just like you and I.
Did you say something wrong?
But we will be down in the visitors bullpen working on that.
Okay. See the shift that is on for Brian McCann with nobody on. Brewers employing a lot of shifts in this game. Hayward gets one. Chipper Jones. McCann. Freeman gets one. Just wonder if the Braves are too left-handed. I mean, they seem like a ball club that you could match up against, especially this time of year when you have so many lefties. The Brewers do not have any lefties other than Manny Parra. As you kind of go through the September schedule with the call-ups and the expanded rosters. Veras loses McCann. A 2-out walk issued by Jose Veras. And that'll bring up Andrelton Simmons.
Well, they do have the equalizer, the Atlanta Braves. You don't need a lot of runs if you're the Braves offense because of your pitching staff. Scratch out a couple of runs and pretty good chance you have a chance to win. These guys are very impressive, particularly that bullpen, one of the best in the business.
Hard throwing lefty Johnny Venters getting ready.
Not often that the Braves even have to score as many as 5 runs to win a game. And very often they do not.
Now the Braves have won 5 in a row. The Brewers have won 6 consecutive home games. And Milwaukee has won 14 of their last 16 games here at Miller Park. They swept the Pittsburgh Pirates in the last series here at Miller Park last weekend. Trying to keep that going here. Something has to give tonight. Braves lead 1-0. Simmons gets sawed off and fouls it back. How good have the Brewers been here at Miller Park during this stretch of games, this 14-2 stretch? They're averaging over 6 runs per game and a team earned run average, starters and relievers, at 3.5, which is saying a lot in a ballpark like this, especially with the hot weather that we've had here over this stretch up until tonight.
And not listed on that is the fact that the bullpen's really started to come around. Ron Renicky, Rick Kranz have been waiting all season for the bullpen to be able to perform like they have. And because of that, they're starting to win games the last 3 weeks.
Brewers are 2 under 500, 69-71, 6 back in the wild card race, trailing the Cardinals. 2-1 the count. Simmons lays off and it goes to 3 balls and a strike. Braves have Lyle Overbay on deck. Recent acquisition. They'll hit for the pitcher. If that spot should come up. Ferris walked McCann. 3-1 on Simmons. And that one's inside, ball 4. Now Veras, his command can escape him in a hurry.
He got the first 2 out relatively easily, and since that time hadn't been able to find the strike zone. Talking about repeating a delivery, what we were talking about on our instructional tonight. That's what throwing strikes is all about.
So Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, out for a quick chat. We've got a pinch hitter coming up, Lyle Overbay, former Brewer. And the man that Aramis Ramirez is chasing for the franchise doubles record this year. Overbay signed with the Braves in August. He signed a minor league deal and he went to the minor leagues to get in the organization, which makes him eligible for the postseason. And he was technically a September call-up, but the Braves have had trouble with their bench. And Overbay has as good a shot as any to hit his way onto that bench for a postseason run, perhaps. Two outs, and that is in the dirt.
I think the one thing that works against Overbay is left-handed hitter. Just got done saying how left-handed the Braves are. Another one of their best pinch hitters is left-handed, Eric Hinsky.
And he's fighting a long slump in the second half, maybe just pulling out of it. Hinsky. We saw Overbay earlier this year with the Diamondbacks. Released by the Diamondbacks, signed by the Braves. 2 on, 2 out. 2-0. Nobody warming up with the Brewers bullpen. This is Veras' inning. Overbay signing some autographs. And a welcome back to Milwaukee. Has that doubles record. 53 doubles. Setting a franchise record. Traded to make room for Prince Fielder.
You don't mind getting traded to make way for a guy like Prince. I mean, you get that.
It was after the 05 season. Overbay went to Toronto. Had 5 years in Toronto, and then the Pirates, a couple of years with the Diamondbacks. Now he's here with Atlanta. Big pitch, 2-1. Overbay singles to right. Aoki comes up with it. No chance for McCann to score. They won't even bother.
Another great throw by Aoki. Anybody but McCann out at second base, and that's a run. Aoki threw a perfect strike into the infield. Well, 2-1 fastball, and it looked as though Maldonado was expecting a breaking ball. You see the way he shifts over, and Aoki, perfect throw, hits the cutoff man, and McCann has to hold it third. Another good throw by Nori.
So the bases are loaded, and all of this has come with 2 outs. A 2-out walk to McCann and Simmons, and a base hit by Overbay. Top of the order, here is Michael Bourne. Braves lead 1-0, and a curveball down and in. Popped him up. Ryan Braun is over. And he's got it. And a big out for Jose Veras. The Braves strand, the bases loaded. Brewers coming to bat.
The 7th, and it is our time now to hear from you, the fans, in our pulse of social media. Tonight we asked you, which Brewers shortstop have you been more impressed with and why, between Jeff Bianchi and Gene Segura? Drew tweeted us at FS Wisconsin saying, equally impressed. Bianchi's 3 home runs were surprising, and Gene Segura is a slick fielder with a cannon arm. Jake also tweeted us saying, I think Gene Segura has been more impressive with contribution, but Jeff Bianchi has been very impressive too. Now, BA and Rock, we've seen a lot of these guys lately, and Ron Renneke, a good problem for him to have is he has the opportunity to see what he has from these young guys.
Well, you got that right. And the Brewers are now in a position with 2 terrific young catchers, 2 terrific young shortstops. That's what every team covets, and the Brewers certainly have that. It's good to hear from you today on our Twitter handle at FS Wisconsin. Johnny Venters pitching in his 3rd game in the last 4 days. He can bring it. Left-hander. 1-0 Atlanta with Martin Maldonado leading off, and Venter's first fastball, Rock, 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, even with a lot of activity lately, Venter's still able to get it up there and throw a lot of strikes.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Maldonado with a base hit. Turned around a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And Maldonado with 2 hits. He's 2 for 3, and the Brewers have a man on to start this 7th inning. Ho-Chunk Gaming text question. Let's go for Martin in lacrosse. I don't think it's Maldonado. Is there much of an advantage anymore to winning a wild card? Not what it used to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, still in the playoffs, though. You still have a shot. But you're right. I mean, you have to go through that extra game, that play-in game between the 2 wild card winners, which is ordinarily going to mean you're going to use your best pitcher to advance and not have him available early in the first round.
Eric Ferris will pinch run for Maldonado. A stolen base threat. Maldonado, what a day. 2 hits. He gunned down 2 Atlanta Braves on the base pads. So here is Gene Segura. Sophia was just talking about the young shortstops, and they're going to hit back-to-back here in this frame. Segura will hit for Ishikawa with Bianchi on deck. Segura, whoa, right across the shoe tops.
Yeah, this guy's got to be a nightmare to try to bunt on. He throws so hard, effectively wild, very difficult to bunt big velocity. There's a cut fastball, almost getting a piece of Segura, just able to get out of the way. And you wonder if Ferris might think about a stolen base. He got one yesterday.
Yeah, Ferris had a big steal in the 10th inning yesterday. Segura squares, and did he go? No, he didn't. Able to pull the bat back. Makes it 2 balls and no strikes on Segura.
Going to be tough with the way these guys are crashing in at the corners. All the moving around they're doing going to be very difficult for somebody to be able to cover the bag. It's probably going to be Simmons that's covering the bag because Uggla's going to first. Guys moving all over the place. 2-0. Let's see if they let him swing away.
3 balls, no strikes. We talked about how much the Braves have used their bullpen lately. Their winning compilation of pitchers. Venters, Kimbrel. Freddie Gonzalez pacing in that dugout. Venters now pitching in the 3rd game of the last 4 days. He pitched yesterday. And Rocky went an inning in the 3rd yesterday. There's strike 1. And it's one thing to pitch in 3 out of 4 days, but when you're asked to go multiple innings.
Well, and every opportunity the Braves have to pick up a win, they're going to use whoever they have out there based on what happened last year to them. Not going to let that happen again. Certainly don't want to lose a game because they brought in a guy that they brought up for the minor leagues.
What was amazing about Venters yesterday against the Mets in that extra inning win, he pitched an inning in the 3rd. He did it all in 7 pitches. Faced 4 batters. 3-1. Segura takes strike 2 just on the corner. And it's a full count to this speedy young shortstop, Segura.
This might be the opportunity for Ferris to take off on a 3-2 count.
Here it comes, and it's ball 4. Speed to burn on the base pads now. The Brewers have 2 on, nobody out.
Now it's going to be Bianchi's turn to try and drop down a bunt off of Vetters. Again, not easy to bunt on big velocity, particularly if it's up in the zone. It's a pitch that's very easily popped up. See what play the Braves elect to put on. They do the wheel or they do the conventional bunt play.
That's where it helps to have all that speed on the bags. Lucroy is on deck. He'll hit for the pitcher and stay in the game to catch. The Yankee bunted foul.
That's the conventional bunt defense, and they had Simmons going to second, Ugla racing to first, and the corner's crashing. So if you bunt it toward third in that defense, pretty good chance you're going to be able to advance at least the man at second. You make Chipper Jones field the baseball.
2 on, nobody out. Tying run at second. Yankee squares, gets it down. Venters going to third, and he throws it away. Here comes Ferris. He will score. We are tied on a throwing error by Venters. Both runners advance.
That'll probably be a sacrifice for Bianchi, and an E1 allowing Eric Ferris to score the tying run. Not a good idea to throw that baseball to third base. Good bunt. Great speed at second. Chipper Jones gets back, and he would have been safe even if the throw was on the money, but it wasn't. And the Brewers in great shape to take the lead.
All tied at 1. Second and third, nobody out. The speed pays off as Ferris scores the tying run, and Venters is coming out. Freddie Gonzalez back to the bullpen. We'll take a timeout. Sent into the game to pinch run for Martin Maldonado after he singled to start this inning. Goes all the way around. He scores on an error. Scores the tying run. And the Brewers with second and third, nobody out. Segura now at third base. He walked. And Bianchi, after dropping the bunt down, goes all the way to second on the throwing error. So Freddie Gonzalez will go with Chad Durbin.
Yep, 69th appearance for Durbin. Very good numbers. A .327 earned run average. He's given up the 9 home runs. A pretty good opponent batting average. A ground ball pitcher's got a good sinker.
You think it's an easy move to bring on a pinch runner in the 7th inning in September with all of the call-ups and expanded rosters, but keep in mind the Brewers still have just 2 catchers. He took Maldonado out in the 7th, sensing a moment here, and it paid off in a big way. And now Lucroy gets a chance to try to give the Brewers the lead.
Johnny Venters did not get an out. That's a rarity.
A hit, a walk, and a sac bunt. Committed a throwing error that led to the tying run. 0-2 on Lucroy. Brewers have great speed on the bases still, with Segura at third base, the Yankee out at second, and with the infield halfway in like it is, Bianchi can get a great jump at second base. Won't take much to score Segura. Anything in the air, medium deep, will do it. And now it's 2-2. Lucroy laying off a couple of tough pitches. .413 this year with runners in scoring position. And he is just, in players' terms, spit on 3 strikeout pitches of Durbin.
The advantage of having an everyday catcher as your pinch hitter. Used to getting at bat, sees the ball pretty well.
Full count, second and third, and Lucroy hangs in there.
Durham gave him the slider, and Lucroy able to stay alive. Pretty good pitch.
Durbin's had a nice year. 34 years of age. First year with the Braves. Crowd chants Luke. 3-2 pitch, and it is ball 4. What an at bat off the bench for Lucroy.
He fell behind 0-2. And then he went to work. Great at bat.
Well, Freddy Gonzalez is going to let it ride here with Durbin. With the left-hander coming up, Aoki at the plate tonight, presented by Wendy's. Aoki has a double. That came in the 3rd inning. He stole a base in that inning. Hit a game-tying home run off Jason Mott yesterday in St. Louis. He's been hitting with more power recently.
And it looks like up the middle, the Atlanta Braves are going to try and turn a double play. Conceding the go-ahead run at the top of the order coming up.
Well, what a turn here. Atlanta had the bases loaded in the top of this inning. They could not score. The Brewers have tied it, and they have loaded the bases here in the bottom half. 2-0 on Aoki. Segura pinch hit. He walked. Bianchi who dropped down the bunt. As Aoki sends one deep left center. That ball's way back. And it is off the wall. Segura is in. Bianchi right behind him. And Aoki-san with a 2 RBI double. The Brewers have the lead.
Boy, that guy has been huge lately. Wow. Where's all this power coming from? Nori Aoki. We haven't seen this all year from him. He just drives that ball off the wall out there in left center. Our Pizza Hut delivered the game. A double for Nori Aoki with the bases loaded. I think for a second he thought that was out of the ballpark. Jonathan Lucroy, not sure if that's going to be caught. Aoki has to hold up.
And now it's Gomez.
You're going to have to start playing him a little deeper in the outfield.
Dropping a little slugging percentage on us here in the last couple of weeks.
They call it dropping some head out there. Is Nori Aoki, the head of that bat. Just hammering that baseball.
Here's Gomez. You've got Braun on deck. Still nobody out. 3-1 Milwaukee. And Gomez slices it foul. He's down 0-2. Aoki with 2 doubles tonight. The Brewers have just 4 hits. Aoki with 2 of them. A big one right there. Inside, almost hit Gomez. Right over his shoe tops.
Johnny Benner's charged with 3 runs in no innings. Did not get an out and was charged with 3 runs.
All of them earned. Well, what an inning for the Brewers. Martin Maldonado started it with a base hit on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Venters. Pinch ran for him. Ferris came in to run. That proved to be a big move. Segura had a pinch hit walk. Still nobody out as Gomez lays off. Durbin, one of the most rested relievers the Braves have. He has not pitched since the 7th of September. Back on Friday night. And he faced just one batter in that game.
This inning gives you a sense for how good Mike Minor was tonight. The Brewers have had great offense for a while now, and they're showing it in the 7th.
In the air, right center field, well hit. Bourne on the run. He'll run it down. Tagging and scoring is Lucroy. Aoki will tag as well. And Gomez does the job. A sac fly makes it 4-1 Milwaukee. The first out of the inning produces a run for the Brewers.
A good job by Carlos Gomez going down and getting, looked like a cutter of some kind, and a pretty good pitch. It was out of the zone, but able to get it deep enough to drive in the run and get Aoki over to third base. That's a good at bat.
And a pump of the fist for Gomez. The Braves will walk Ryan Braun. You can't blame him here. That'll set up an opportunity to get out of an inning with a double play, but it also puts one more base runner aboard for Aramis Ramirez. Four runs are in for the Brewers. Only David Wright has been walked more intentionally than Braun this year. And Roger McDowell on his way out. Quick chat here with Durbin. Oh, this is some kind of inning, and you think about who is getting it started for the Brewers. Sophia Minner was talking to us about the young shortstops. It was Segura and Bianchi, both reaching base in this inning, a walk and a sac bunt. Maldonado started it with a single. The bottom of the order, and all rookies.
Young kids getting it done for the Brewers in the month of September, and that's why the Brewers have been playing so well. Contributions up and down the order, everybody getting the job done.
Here is Ramirez, and he takes a strike. Ramos tonight is 0 for 2. He walked in the 6th inning. Close play at first. Braun looks like he wants to run. Ryan has 23 stolen bases this year. Aoki's at third. Still just one out in the inning. The Braves had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 7th. And Jose Veras retired Michael Bourne on a fly ball to left. Stayed 1-0, and then the Brewers unloading here in the 7th. 4 runs in. 2 hits and 3 walks issued by the Braves, one of them intentional. And a botched bunt. Throwing error by Venters. Two balls and a strike.
You're showing very good patience in this inning.
Well, a pivotal at bat in this inning was the Lucroy walk. Down 0-2 quickly. Bottom of the strike zone. 2-2 on Ramirez.
That's what Durbin needs. He's a ground ball pitcher. Relies on getting low strikes. And he got one there.
There goes Braun. Ramirez bouncer to third. Backhanded by Jones. Coming to the plate. And the tag is in time. Aoki is out. Nice play by Chipper Jones. That was not an easy hop to handle.
No, he got it on the backhand. Got himself in position to throw and threw a strike to home plate. Good soft hands on the backhand by Chipper. Playing behind the bag for Ramirez. Durbin got his ground ball and Jones able to handle a tricky hop. Home plate umpire right on it.
That was a good play by Jones. Aoki has to run in that spot to stay out of a double play. So first and second, 2 outs. Here is Weeks. Weeks is the 9th batter of the inning. He walked and stole a base in the second. He's 0 for 2. Throw to first, and the ball gets away, and Braun is on his way to third.
Maybe another error on the pitcher in this inning.
That was close.
And maybe an error on Freddie Freeman. Had it in his glove, and in the process of trying to make a tag, he lost it. And Braun able to get to third base. Good pickoff throw from Brian McCann, not the pitcher.
Yeah, that throw's right there.
Yeah, that's an E3.
So it's first and third. Weeks takes ball 3. The sure-handed Atlanta Braves. Freddie Gonzalez has the best defensive team in the National League. But 2 errors in this inning. Green light, 3-0.
Pinch runner Eric Ferris on deck. That's how good of an inning this has been.
Begging for a big league at bat. After he scored the tying run a moment ago. Ball 4. Ferris will indeed hit. Ricky Weeks draws the walk. The bases are loaded once again. Freddie Gonzalez came out. Brian McCann on his way to the mound. And I think Freddie Gonzalez saw Ron Renicky send Taylor Green out, and he's waiting to see what happens here. So Ferris pulled back. The left-handed hitting Taylor Green will come on, and Renicky is going to force Freddie Gonzalez to go back to his bullpen.
It looks like a right-hander's coming in though. Taking out Chad Durbin. Here comes a righty. Interesting. You got 2 other lefties in the pen.
Tough outing for Durbin. He exits. Brewers still working here in the 7th. 4 runs in. 4 runs in this 7th inning. Freddie Gonzalez going back to the bullpen. This inning started with Johnny Venters, then Chad Durbin, and now Christian Martinez.
Averaging almost a strikeout per innings pitched. 50th appearance for Martinez. Interesting that Freddie Gonzalez has 2 left-handers available in his bullpen, and he elects to bring in the right-hander Martinez.
Even after Taylor Green was announced as the pinch hitter. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Green off the bench, hitting for Ferris, who pinch ran for Maldonado after Maldonado singled to start this inning. The 10th batter of the inning for Milwaukee. The Braves have doubled up the Brewers in the hit total, but Milwaukee now leads by 3. Ron Ramirez and Weeks on the bases, and a swing and a miss. Change of pace from Martinez.
Yeah, big time change of pace. The Bugs Bunny changeup from Martinez. That ball just never seems to get there. Back-to-back changeups.
Taylor Green this year has 2 home runs in the big leagues. Both of them have come in pinch hit appearances. Bouncing ball to second. Ugla. Nice easy hop. And the side is retired. But what an inning for the Brewers. They bring 10 to the plate. They score 4 runs. Maldonado started it with a single. It was a throwing error that led to the tying run and the big hit by Aoki. The Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. Brewers get 4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. They lead 4-1 as we head to the 8th now. Trying to keep their streak alive here at home. They're looking for their 7th consecutive home win. Taylor Green stays in the game. He'll play first base. Lucroy comes in to do the catching. And the new pitcher, Rock, will be Jim Henderson, on for the 24th time.
Yeah, good numbers for Henderson, particularly here at Miller Park. I mean, when you look at what he's done in Miller Park, he's given up 1 run in 10 1/3 innings here at home. That's a .87 earned run average. He last pitched against the Cardinals on Saturday, gave up a run in an inning of work.
Henderson will face Martin Prado to lead it off. Prado, Hayward, and Chipper Jones here in the 8th inning. Well, the Brewers able to do something that not many teams have done this year, and that is get to the Atlanta Braves late inning relief. Venters did not record an out, gives up 3 runs. Durbin gives up a run, and Martinez able to strand the bases loaded. Strike 1 to Prado. The versatile Martin Prado, mostly an outfielder these days, but can always be used at third or second base.
He's always been a guy to make very good contact, sprays the ball around, not much power, but a tough out.
No balls, 2 strikes on Prado. And a little flare. Weeks leaps, can't make the play. A base hit for Martin Prado, and that's his 3rd of the game.
On an 0-2 slider, that was a pretty good pitch.
Our Miller Lite, what's on tap? Brewers and the Braves back at it tomorrow night. 6:30 is airtime for Brewers Live. First pitch at 7:10. Marco Estrada against Tim Hudson tomorrow. Hudson coming off his 14th win of the season. And then Wednesday it's Gallardo against Mahalam. Mets are coming in Friday. Jason Hayward tonight has 2 hits. He's 2 for 3. Both singles. The Braves have 9 hits, but just 1 run.
They certainly haven't helped themselves on the bases tonight.
In 3 of the first 4 innings, the Braves had a runner eliminated from the base paths. One at second in the first, a pickoff in the second, and then a throw out at third base. Hayward hits that one hard. Left field. Braun going back. He's got it for the out. Just a flick of the wrist.
Strong young man, isn't he? Goodness. As we were told that he's really shooting the ball to all fields these days. Never used to do that, but he almost hit that one out. Very strong. Good leverage.
That's the way baseball works. Prado gets a hit with that kind of contact. Hayward gets an out after he whistles one to the opposite field.
Nobody said it's fair.
Here's Chipper Jones.
You make a good pitch and they get a hit. You make a bad pitch and you get an out.
Brewers put the shift on for Jones and he fouls it away. Jones got a nice ovation when he batted for the first time. Stepped out of the box, tipped his cap. It has been a season-long love fest for Chipper Jones in his final year in the big leagues.
He deserves it. He's been a good player.
Even got a standing ovation at Citi Field in New York from Mets fans. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with the fans of New York.
No, none of the Mets get that.
Good point. Chipper's done in the Mets many times in crunch time in those great division battles in the 90s. There's a strike.
That's a good pitch on the inside corner to everybody, but particularly a guy that's 40 years old. Good fastball right on the hand. Lucroy setting up there, and Henderson puts it right in the glove.
Ball and 2 strikes. In the air. Shallow center. There is Gomez, and Jones is retired. Had him fooled. So 2 outs. Henderson retires Hayward and Jones. And he'll face Freddie Freeman now.
Hey, Henderson's using his slider quite a bit tonight. Had Jones out in front.
Well, normally Henderson throws his slider in the mid to upper 80s. That was at 82 miles an hour. It had the same kind of spin to it, but maybe took a little off against Chipper Jones, who was way out in front. Freddie Freeman. Got that one in on his hands, and it's 0 Make it 1-1 on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. '29-year-old Jim Henderson, his first opportunity in the big leagues this year. Strike 2. 1-2 on Freeman. Freeman has 19 home runs for the season. He has that quick strike ability. Slashes one foul.
He keeps throwing that slider for strikes.
Brewers took the lead with 4 in the bottom of the 7th. And it was all the young kids who got it done. On a night when the Brewers learned that Corey Hart would not be available to start, not available to play tonight, might miss a few days. Ron Renicky said it could even be a week with an ankle injury. Ryan Braun came back tonight with an injured wrist. Ramirez has been hobbled by a sore back. Freeman gets jammed, a little flare. Gomez coming in, can't get it. And a throw to third base. And he's out! Oh my, what a play! Prado tag out at third base for the second time tonight. Gomez guns him down. And Mark one more off the base pad for the Braves. How about that play?
Braves 10 hits to just 1-1 because of sensational defense in a big 7th inning. Jerry Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game, the way the Brewers executed their way through that 4-run 7th.
Well, when you're talking about you had a pitcher's duel going up in that 7th inning, it all starts with execution. Maldonado with the base hit up the middle, he pitch runs Ferris, then there's a walk, and then what happens? Bianchi comes up, executes the bunt. When you execute the bunt, you make the other team do other things. I'll tell you, led to 4 runs that inning.
It sure opened up the floodgates. 4 runs on 2 hits, 4 walks, 2 errors in that inning. And the Brewers holding to a 4-1 lead. We'll review it all. Brewers Live coming up after the game, Brian.
All right, Craig and Augie, thanks. Nigel Morgan leads off. He is down quickly 0-2. Morgan pinch hitting in the spot vacated by the pitcher now, Henderson. How about that play by Carlos Gomez to end the inning in the 8th? And for the 4th time tonight, the Braves have run into an out on the base paths.
Yeah, eliminates 1 inning of at-bats for you when you make mistakes like that. But I'm not sure why Prado wasn't able to get to third base. 2 outs on that base hit. I mean, you got to be sprinting your way to third base. It looked like he was running, but look at the play by Gomez coming in, 1 hop, a strike into third base. And I tell you, it's the Atlanta Braves that lead the league in defense, but the Brewers are certainly doing a heck of a job tonight. Look how quickly he gets that ball off to Ramirez, just swipe on the back, and that could have been big trouble for the Brewers because Dan Uggla's coming up representing the tying run.
Well, Morgan bounces out to Uggla for the first out of the inning. Yeah, that's a great point. Prado twice has been thrown out at third base in this game. Aoki gunned him down in the 4th inning.
Every throw that has resulted in outs on the bases has been perfect throws. All 4 of them.
Jeff Bianchi, first ball swinging. That will head to the seats.
And he's running. I mean, it's not like he's not trying to get there as quickly as he can, but boy, you can't make an out at third base down by 3 runs. You just can't do it. And you see Prado out there in left field thinking the same thing. How can I do that? Tying run coming up. Home run hitter.
Bianchi pops it up. And that's going to be Hayward who wants it. Out number 2. So looking ahead to the Braves' 9th now. Uggla will lead off, followed by McCann and the rookie shortstop Simmons.
I'd much rather face that guy with a 3-run lead leading off an inning and representing the tying run, and that's what happened when Prado gets thrown out. You got to put 2 more men on base.
Here's Lucroy batting for the 2nd time. Drew a walk in a pinch hit appearance last inning. That was a key at bat in the inning. He was down 0-2. Brewers had 2nd and 3rd. The tying run had already scored. Lucroy was at the plate, and then he worked a walk. This one's popped up, foul territory. So the Brewers go quietly in the bottom of the 8th, and we are set for the 9th. The Axeman cometh. Skipper Ron Renicky took a shot at it in the 7th inning. And a lot of moves and maneuvering in that frame, and it paid off. It's the only inning the Brewers have scored in this ball game. They lead 4-1. Going to the 9th, the Columbia St. Mary's save tracker for John Axford. He's at 27. Got a chance for number 28. Has 3 runs to work with here tonight.
Got his 27th on Saturday against the Cardinals. has been unscored upon in each of his last 8 appearances. And he's got a 3-run cushion to work with tonight.
Axford has 9 consecutive saves. It's been a battle for him this year. He has blown 8 saves this season. Had that incredible stretch of 49 consecutive saves through last year and to start this season. Strike 1 to Dan Uggla. That's a good start when Axford throws his curveball for strike 1. That's been a problem pitch for him this year. And he follows it up with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Axford has had a pretty heavy workload lately. It was not available yesterday.
Yeah, just getting ready to say, and his velocity on Saturday was down. Yeah, 92, 93. Good to see that fastball in this inning at 95.
A big play to end the Atlanta 8th. Prado thrown out by Gomez, trying to stretch it to third on a single. Uggla leads off. The 2-2 is ripped into left field. Braun is there and one away. This is going to be a night. If the Brewers win this game, the Braves will be kicking themselves with base running mistakes. They committed 2 errors and unable to cash in. They had a chance to open it up. They had the bases loaded in the 7th inning with 2 outs. Michael Bourne flew out to left to end it. And then the very next half inning, the Brewers scored 4 runs to take the lead. The Braves have 1 run on 10 hits tonight.
Yeah, but they've committed 2 errors, both in the same inning.
Freddie Gonzalez's club has been hot. They've won 5 in a row and 7 of their last 8. Coming off a sweep of the Mets on the road prior to this series. McCann takes a ball. 1-1 the count.
And the Brewers 4-run 7th, 2 hits, 4 walks, and 2 errors. It's not what the Braves normally do.
Checking the Cardinals score. St. Louis is in San Diego tonight. The Padres fell behind 2-0, but they've answered back-to-back 2-run innings, and now they lead 4-2. Cameron Maven is homered in that game. Brewers are 6 back of the Cardinals for that second wild card spot. Hot ground ball right to Green. He'll take it himself. 2 outs. Also tonight, another team that is ahead of the Brewers in the wild card chase, the Pirates. They are still tied with the Reds in the bottom of the 11th inning, 3-3. Dodgers are off. Andrelton Simmons. He was the man at the plate when the Braves scored their only run. He bounced into a double play, scoring Dan Uggla. That's been it tonight. And this should do it. Weeks is there. And John Axford, a 3-up, 3-down ninth, and the Brewers stay hot. Their 7th consecutive win at Miller Park. A 4-1 final, making a winner out of Jose Veras. Axford with his 28th save. The Brewers do it all in 1 inning. A 4-run 7th. And the big hit, Nori Aoki with a 2 RBI double. Much more still to come on this one. Craig Kashawn, what do you have?